Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and very emotional episode of the Paramount Plus show, Clarice. Now before I begin, of course, like most of my episode reviews, they are spoiler filled, so if you're not caught up on Clarice by this episode or previous episodes, you do not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers and all the shit that went down in this latest episode. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. So first and foremost, I know I've said this many times before while covering the show, but I'm just going to say it again because I think they do such a good job of it. This show really does, in my opinion, does a great job capturing and personifying PTSD and trauma for not just Clarice, but all of our characters who have got their toes dipped in the pool that is trauma and PTSD. And it's really well done, like almost like stylistic filmmaking, but scaled down for a television production. But like, just the occasional flashbacks, like the flashes of a traumatic moment, and just how the characters continue to struggle with their ongoing internal personal conflict with themselves about dealing with the trauma, the pain, and the pure hell that they've endured and experienced. And I don't think Catherine necessarily wanted to kill James's mother. I think she just wanted some answers, and she wanted to feel vindicated. And like many of us, when experiencing emotional pain or trauma, we just want to place the blame on someone or something, even if it's not necessarily that person's fault. We just want to lay blame because it makes us feel better. Like we need a reason, or we need answers as to why when we had to go through this. And of course, most of the time there isn't a straight answer. It's like Clarice said, he just happened. It wasn't necessarily his mother's fault or his grandparents' fault. Buffalo Bill just happened. So who knows why he turned out the way he did. But it was a good episode, very good episode. And I also love the dramatic bits between Krendler and the senator, where, of course, they couldn't say his name, but they were referencing Hannibal Lecter and the guilt that they feel due to them making a deal with him and resulting in the lives that were lost in the process, specifically the two cops who were guarding him and anyone else who might have been murdered as a result of Lecter's escape. So it's interesting that they touched on that. They touched on this guilt that could be interpreted as PTSD, but it's most likely just their conscience getting the better of them. Even though they obviously didn't directly have a hand in the killings, they feel somewhat responsible for them. So, this is an emotional powerhouse of a show. And I really loved how they turned around a situation where we thought, Agent Clark was going to be inappropriate and inadvertently transphobic when he was staring at Julia, but it turned out he was just admiring the shade of her hair color because it was the same color of hair that his sister had when she was 13. Even though he'd made some, an inappropriate remark to Clarice earlier when he not so subtly whispered, "Can we trust him?" referring to Julia, which is why Clarice smacked him on the arm. It turns out he actually didn't seem to have much of an issue with Julia and just really admired her hair color because it reminded him so much of his sister. And then he was also quite sympathetic in saying, "Hey, if you don't want to dig any further into this dirty company of yours because you've got a life and you don't want to lose it, I get it. It's totally understandable." So I thought that was pretty cool too. The guy we thought who wouldn't be totally woke or up to date with the lingo, I guess, that is like you should treat trans people with respect, as all of us should. It turns out he was not as transphobic as we thought he was going to be. So that was a nice turnaround. But yeah, great episode, good stuff, very moving stuff. Like I said, this show does such a great job capturing PTSD and trauma and just putting it in like the lens that, the viewers can understand. And of course, I don't think it's anything close to what people of real trauma or experiences like this actually feel, or maybe they do feel, but I feel like this is probably pretty good representation of it. What did you guys think? What did you think of this episode? Was it nice to get a break from them investigating this pharmaceutical company and kind of get a standalone Catherine Clarice episode where they work out their issues? How did you enjoy it? Would you have done differently? Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. I don't know how many more episodes of Clarice we have left this season. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 more, but as long as they keep coming out, I'll keep reviewing them, and I'll let you know once I get some answers. Thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome rest of your weekend if I don't see you. And of course, until next time, May the force be with you.